Welcome to my Days of Our Lives official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Days of Our Lives spoilers for the next 2 weeks, July 8th to 19th, predict that Nicole DiMera will publicly chastise EJ DiMera for all of his paternity lies before running to the airport with Jude Brady. During the week of July 8th to 12th, Nicole will prevent Eric Brady from flying to Paris by disclosing that Jude is his biological son. While Eric is reeling from that revelation, EJ will have a complete meltdown in the DiMera home. According to Days teasers, EJ will promise that Gabby Hernandez DiMera and Stefan DiMera would face consequences for their roles in the secret spillage. Holly Jonas might hear the ruckus after EJ shouts at the top of his lungs and smashes a glass. It'll undoubtedly leave Holly wondering what the heck is going on, so DOL fans should expect EJ to make a painful confession. Since Holly will find out the truth one way or another, it appears that EJ will confess to fooling Nicole and Eric about Jude's paternity. Holly adores Eric and despises how sad he's been, so she'll undoubtedly rip into EJ for all the suffering he inflicted. Meanwhile, Stefan and Gabby will be worried about becoming retribution targets, especially because he is keeping his drunken connection with Ava Vitali a secret. If EJ gets his hands on that information, he'll be delighted to break up Gabby and Stefan. According to other Days spoilers, Maggie Kyriakis will propose a strategy to bring the Kyriakis family together, thus she may agree with Bonnie Kyriakis' double wedding idea. Will Alex Kyriakis and Teresa Donovan support Maggie's plan? What about Xander Cook and Sarah Horton? There are good grounds to believe a double wedding will take place, as it is the simplest way to expose Teresa's Kyriakis' heir deceit, especially because Xander's mother is expected to attend the ceremony. Until then, Alex will have a difficult decision to make. It appears that Alex will learn about Holly and Tate Black's summer romance, so will he inform Teresa? After meeting a handsome new guy named Carrie, Leo Stark will heat things up with him in a Salem and suite. After that, Leo will have a very revealing therapy session with Marlena Evans, so he may divulge more than she expected. When Jack Devereaux finds that Chad DiMera asked permission to dig up Abigail DiMera's body, he will lash out. Jack doesn't understand why Chad would want to desecrate Abigail's final resting place in that way. However, Chad is desperate for actual answers after failing to find any with the mysterious woman video. Although Chad is unsure whether Clyde Weston was telling the truth regarding Abigail's survival, he will convince Jack that they must investigate. Once Jack gives in and joins Chad, they will make a graveside discovery. Chad and Jack will be caught off guard when the casket opens, therefore Abigail's body may not be inside. On July 11th, DOL will telecast the final episode taped by Bill Hayes before his death. Julie Williams will share a meaningful moment with Doug, so expect some bittersweet scenes. At Bayview, Robert Bobby Stein will provide substantial information on Li Shin's case, but he will also tease Jada Hunter. Jada will finally give up and issue an ultimatum, so will Bobby confess everything he knows about the true culprit? Connie Valinsky was the one who took Lee down that night, but there are still questions regarding her complete agenda and how much Bobby is aware of. Days spoilers predict a killer will try to attack again, implying that Connie will make another dramatic action. Will Connie realize Bobby has spilled too much to Jada and try to get her out before she tells Rafe Hernandez? There will undoubtedly be more Connie developments throughout the week of July 15th to 19th, so we'll see if she succeeds in hurting someone else or if someone intervenes. Connie is going to get busted at some point, so stay tuned for further predictions about her collapse. Meanwhile, there will be additional wedding preparations, so the program will set the setting for Fiona Cook's entrance and the eventual revelation that Xander is Victor Kyriakis' son. Finally, Steve Johnson will be joining John Black in Greece, which could lead to some major surprises. Will Steve assist John in proving that he is not to blame for Katharina's death? Is Katharina still alive, or was her demise caused by someone other than John? Days of Our Lives spoilers suggest the next 2 weeks will be filled with huge surprises, so stay tuned. Stephanie meets Paulina at the square. People are unhappy with Paulina's decision to replace D.A. Trask, a woman of color, with EJ, a corrupt affluent white guy who had previously been removed from that position. They claim she treated Melinda like trash. At the townhouse, Marlena tells Steve how the pawn card triggered John at Maggie's wedding. He grabbed up a gun at Constantine's request, unsure what to do. She believes he is keeping away because he does not want to hurt him. Steve says he has to be the one to bring him home. If he is sentenced to probation, of course. John would not be in this situation if it weren't for him. I owe him my life. Bobby reads a book when Jada enters his room. He beams as he tells that he is currently reading a murder mystery she recommended. He suspects Dr. What's-Her-Face or Everett's neurotic girlfriend sent her over. Jada tells him that they are all worried about him. She understands he had no control over the things she accused him of. She bursts into tears as he confesses that he never stopped loving her and never intended to hurt her. He inquires if they can get over it. She accepts his apologies and states that she still cares for him. Bobby is in his hospital bed, holding a book called The Remaining Soul. He looks to the side with a sneer. Bobby hardens as he realizes Jada is there for Everett. She reminds him that she is currently with Rafe and that Everett is his host personality while he is an alter. Bobby becomes defensive, ranting about the horrors he has saved Everett from. Jada describes him as heroic and strong, but possibly a touch too strong. Maybe if he lets Everett out to confront the reality, he can help Bobby. Chad visits Kayla's office at the hospital. He asks her to keep this between them as he gives her the video of the mysterious woman. She can't determine whether it's Abigail or not. Chad wonders if Kayla, who was the last person Abby saw before she died, is still alive. Kayla says maybe. Still at the penthouse, Steve receives a call from Justin, who informs him that he has received a suspended sentence and 100 hours of community service. Steve informs Marlena that now that he is no longer on bail, he is free to visit Greece. Marlena is grateful, and she knows John will be too. Stephanie encourages that Paulina lean into the adjustments she has made. They'll launch a campaign to make EJ appear heroic. For example, releasing Gabby would allow him to make amends for placing her in jail in the first place. They will have a news conference to discuss it, but it can also be used to highlight Paulina's successes and future goals. Paulina fears it may come across as dishonest. Stephanie proposes that EJ give the news conference instead, as he is never hesitant about bragging. Paulina agrees. In Bobby's room, Jada tries to persuade him that letting Everett go is better because he would always be a part of him. Bobby responds that he can help her solve a crime. But if Everett returns, she'll never learn the truth. She inquires about the nature of the crime. Nothing too serious, he happily declares. It's just murder. Bobby leans intensely toward a scowling Jada. Kate thinks at Abe's apartment that the cancellation of Body and Soul could be beneficial to them. Abe regrets not knowing how the narratives will conclude. Or, Kate continues, maybe we will know. Rather than producing a completely new show, they could purchase the rights to Body and Soul. At the hospital, Kayla tells Chad about the countless Salemites who have reportedly died and returned, demonstrating that nothing is impossible. Aside from Dr. Rolfe, there are medications that can reduce respiration and heart rate, giving the appearance of death. She recalls that no autopsy was performed, but the funeral home would have needed to embalm her. There's just one way to tell if that actually happened. After Chad has left, Steve visits Kayla's office. He assures John that he will not be imprisoned, but he is going to Greece for him. Stephanie visits Marlena and informs her that Jada is currently with Everett. Meanwhile, Bobby invites Jada to come see him tomorrow. They can discuss the murder then. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, so please don't forget to subscribe my channel and don't miss any update.